Something has happened in the last year of One Piece that was unprecedented in the series. For almost 2 decades now, Oda has written a grand tale about pirates with no clear moral foundation, sailing the seas in hopes of attaining the greatest freedom the world has to offer, aka becoming the Pirate King. As they've gone through the story, they've encountered countless factions and individuals, many of which having strong senses of justice and ideologies of their own. Many of these groups and characters have sought ultimate power in hopes of dominating the world, all the way to Alabasta with Crocodile wanting the power of an ancient weapon, to the world government who seemingly wants to hold all power in the world under the guise of protecting it. And we thought we had a general idea of what the world government was and who was calling the shots, whether it was a back and forth between Akainu and the Gorosei, or simply just them with Akainu heeding their command. It wasn't that complicated. However, Oda has something against designing a world of simplicity, so he decided that all of that was nonsense and he was going to change the game entirely in one fell swoop. The character who knocked us all on our asses in chapter 908, the person who sits on the empty throne, Imu-Sama. Like I mentioned, Oda has given us a wide variety of characters and beliefs, but I think that this one is completely unique to the story and certainly contrasts the tone of the series up until this point. It's not like it's unheard of for One Piece to have an antagonist that is evil for the sake of being evil. In Dressrosa, Dofi literally yells "Scream, hate, suffer" at the citizens of Dressrosa running around in terror from the birdcage. During the arc, we learn about his backstory and his ambition, which is, with no exaggeration, to destroy the entire world. I'm not saying that the concept of pure evil is unheard of in One Piece, and I may even suggest that this character, Imu, may not be evil in the first place. Now, next thing I know, Imu is going to come back into the story and wipe out an entire island while laughing about it or something, and everyone's going to lose their minds. Fronky, what the hell? How is Imu not pure evil? Are you sure, Fronky, are you sure you're not the evil one? Look at the damn upload date, you washed up psychos. But seriously, from first to last time we've seen this person, the mysterious aura and sense of wonder that you get is much unlike any other character we've seen in this series. The first time we see Imu, he or she is walking slowly through some secret underground chamber which contains a refrigerated, giant straw hat. Then after, the freak show continues with the cutting up of the wanted posters and whatnot, and Imu proceeding to sit on the empty throne with the Gorosei, the people built up to be the ones at the top of the world, standing above even the celestial dragons, bowing down to Imu and asking what light needs to be extinguished from the world. Okay. Should I also throw in that this person has eyes that are canonically the same color and design as Mihawk's, the warlord known as the strongest swordsman who used to duel Shanks daily? Yeah, Shanks, remember? The Emperor of the Sea, greatest fear of the world government, and the guy that casually had a meeting with the Gorosei like 10 seconds ago at this point in the story? Yeah, that guy. I think we can all agree that there's some seriously high-level 4D chess that Oda is playing here as far as how Imu exists in this world and how they are going to affect the game. So this new video series I'm starting is supposed to be about the chess pieces that Oda has been setting up from the beginning of this story. If One Piece is a big game of chess with several players, the world government's player just took out another chess set and put a queen in the middle of the battlefield, because they don't care about the rules. All they care about is winning, and they apparently are allowed to break these rules with no foreseeable ramifications at this point. Up until this happened, it seemed pretty clear that the forces of the world government and the Yonko were going to be the endgame players, but Imu has completely changed everything by essentially declaring themselves to be the most powerful character in this series. And I'm not saying the most physically powerful. Hell, at this point, for all we know, Axe Hand Morgan might be able to come here and beat some ass. But as far as this extinguishing light thing goes, yeah, it seems with the amount of power at Imu's command, he or she is likely the most powerful character. So what does it mean when an author completely out of nowhere introduces likely the most powerful character and then immediately moves on to a new arc and acts like the whole introducing the most powerful character thing never happened? Well, I can't see the future, even if I could, I don't know if I would be able to comprehend the greatness that Oda seems to have in store for us. But I have in the past shared my ideas about some things that could be important in the endgame of One Piece, and if I had to guess, that is probably where Imu is going to be most involved in this story. As I've mentioned in past videos and even made some loose theories on, I believe that the final battle of One Piece is not going to take place in Raftel, but instead in the Land of Giants, Elbaf. My first reason for thinking this is because I don't think it logically makes sense for everything to end in Raftel. For all the theories that people have on what the One Piece is, I think the prevailing idea is that it is basically going to be information, perhaps in the form of the Rio Poneglyph. If this is the case, why would this information be dangerous on Raftel? Why would Roger store such information here and then just not do anything about it? I think he needed to go somewhere else. So assuming all of this is true, where would the most likely place be that they need to go? In my opinion, it has to be Elbaf. From the very first time we see giants in the story to the most recent, they have been riddled with references to Norse mythology to their core, with examples as minor as them having a Viking-like theme and them being giants which are similar to Norse Jotuns, to more major ones such as their prince being named Loki. It's pretty clear to me that the references are important. The most striking, however, is one that for whatever reason is often overlooked by fans of the series. This important thing I'm talking about, which probably deserves to be a chess piece on its own, is the giant world tree seen in the final panel of Chapter 865. And if that's not a world tree, then slap my ass and call me Sally, because that's a f***ing world tree. In Norse mythology, the world tree is supposed to be what holds together the universe, connecting the 9 realms together. I'm not necessarily suggesting that the One Piece world is Midgard and there are 8 other realms. However, I think it's worth noting the significance and power of the world tree in these myths, and I could very well see this tree being a portal of some sort to at least one other world. And if I had to choose one, it would be a land like Jotunheim, the land of the giant-like frost creatures. Unfortunately, the giants in One Piece don't particularly have much of a frost-like theme, besides maybe their generally heavy clothing, but there is something I can think of in relation. What comes to mind is the ultra-important character Imu, the person who shares a name with the Jotun Im, and has something to do with an enormous hat that's being refrigerated. Yeah, that's right. I'm not sure on all the specifics, but I believe that Imu is somehow related to these giants, and he or she, along with that straw hat and the world tree, have the capacity to unleash some kind of devastating power upon the world. Ever heard of the not-so-coincidental Norse myth Ragnarok? Let's just say that might be the name of Imu's favorite ability. But with all this talk about the giant straw hat and the world tree and even Elbaf, I think we're involving too many chess pieces for one video. We will have to talk more specifically about those later. The main point of this series is to analyze what we know and can infer about these pieces and suggest how they may come into play later in the story. My theory in a nutshell is that Imu is going to end up being the final antagonist of the world by wielding unimaginable power in the land of Elbaf. But who knows, this is Oda we're dealing with. This could all be a troll. This is One Piece after all. For all we know, Imu is just a f***ing hack. Hopefully this was a good first chess video for you guys. I really enjoyed making it, and I'm excited to do more. If you did love it, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment letting me know what chess pieces you want to see next. This was a highly requested one, and I thought it was smart to start off with something strong, so I definitely like to hear your guys' opinion. Have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you on Wednesday.